In today's video, we're going to build the best improved Guardian XP farm for Minecraft Bedrock Edition. All you have to do is stand here, you collect the XP, and all the drops go inside of the chest below. Once you've found your monument, the most important step to the whole farm is making sure that you build it in the northwest corner. To do this, grab an empty locator map, right click it, and you want to go to the top left of the monument. So this is my monument. The top left is the northwest corner. So over here is where I'm going to want to start to build the farm. The first thing you want to do is go to the very corner and then count in to the third block. So 1, 2, and on this third block, you want to dig it down to where you see sand, stone, gravel, really anything that's not this monument block, and then build a pillar from here all the way up to the surface of the water. Then once you're at the surface, go up one block and place a slab so no mobs end up spawning on this pillar. Now in either one of these two directions, go down 3 blocks and then build out 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then go up 2 blocks, place a slab. Do the same thing, but for 16 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Up 2 blocks and place a slab, and then go 16 blocks again. 14, 15, 16, and then again, I'm going to go up 2 blocks and place a slab, and then for the final time, you want to do it for 10 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Build up 2 blocks, place a slab, and you should end up over top of the same block that we just built. Now you want to go back to the start and do the same thing in this direction. And there you go. As you can see, the second row now ends over top of that same block. Now what you want to do is go to either one of these sides, it doesn't matter, and copy that same pattern that we just did for each one of these pillars. Now that you've got your area looking like this, if you remember back to the beginning of the video when we made that pillar all the way down, not to just the top of the monument, but all the way through to the ground, you want to do that for each one of these spots. Now I know this is tedious, but trust me, this farm is really, really good, so make sure you hang in there. I feel like this is a great time to mention that if something's not lining up, if your measurements aren't working, or if you just want to make sure the farm works before you actually go ahead and build it, check out the first link in the description. You could download this exact world there. Now your area should be looking like this, with one pillar underneath each one of the sections that we have built above the water. Again, to emphasize, make sure these pillars go all the way down to the ground and not just to the top of the monument, because then guardians might still be able to spawn. Now we're going to get started on the actual farm portion of the build. So again, go to the furthest northwest corner, so the top left up here, and on this pillar, the first thing you want to do is go underneath of these blocks. And so right here, place 3 blocks, 3 more, 3 more, 2 blocks, and then a magma block right there. And you want to do that for all 4 of these corners. So again, 3, 3, 3, 2, and a magma block, and there should be a 2 block gap in between these. And then again, do the same thing for these. Now that your area looks like this, take 2 blocks and place them in between each one of the magma blocks so you have this 2x2 square in the middle. And now we want to funnel the guardians into this middle area here, because this is where they're going to end up getting killed. So you want to make some walls surrounding these paths that we've just created. Now that you've got walls like that, come to all 4 of the corners and make sure that there's 2 blocks, 1 in front of the pillar and 1 to the inside part of the pillar, and then over here as well. So 1 right there and 1 right there. I'm going to come over here. There's 2. I want to place 2 like that. There's 2 right there, and place 2 like that. And then finally, make sure that there's 2 and 2 just like that. Now in every one of these blocks that we've just placed down, you want to place 1 more block on top of it. Not like that, sorry. 1 more block on top so you can see the top of the block outside of the water. Once you've got your area looking like this, take some sponges and clear out all of the water inside of these here. So I'm going to place 1 sponge in all 4 of the corners, and that should be plenty to get rid of all that water. This water here doesn't actually matter. Now come to all 4 of the corners and break those 6 blocks, or however many blocks you ended up placing, just so you have these 2 blocks underneath of this area empty. Once you've done that, come to all of the corners and place 1 bucket of water underneath each one of these spots. This is what's going to push the guardians towards the center to be killed, and make sure that when you're doing this, the water pushes right on top of the magma block. Now take your 8 glass panes and place them here. And now we want to cover up this area with glass. Now it doesn't have to be glass, it can be any solid block. I just like to use glass so I can see the guardians flowing, because I think it looks a lot cooler. So you want to take some glass and place it in all of these spots, but once you get to these 3 blocks here, you're just going to want to place it 1 block higher so the guardians don't get stuck. Now before we get any further, it wouldn't be a bad idea to test the farm to make sure your dimensions are working, because this farm is pretty specific. So what you want to do is go over top of the middle here and go up about 30 blocks, 20 to 30 blocks, until you start to see guardians spawning in those corners. It's not going to work for me because I am not on hard mode. I'm on peaceful. There you go. Easy, normal, or hard, whatever you want. as you're going to start to see, guardians will spawn in those 4 corners, like you can see here, and then they'll be pushed towards the middle. You should also notice that no other guardians are spawning anywhere in the farm because we've plugged all of those spots. You can see they are now flooding towards the middle. This is another great time to say, you can see how quickly these guardians spawned, so make sure to stick in until the end of this video because this farm is absolutely insane. But with that, it's time to start working on the way to actually kill these guardians. With the old version of the farm, all we did is built the Trident Killer right here. Now the problem with that is you can't AFK down here to collect the XP because you have to be 20 to 30 blocks in the air for the guardians to start to spawn. So what we're going to do with this farm is make a bubble elevator that goes all the way up, brings them up here, and then pushes them into the Trident Killer. It's a lot more complicated, but it's the only way that I could find to collect the XP while still collecting the drops and being fully AFK. If you don't care about the XP and you only care about the drops, all you have to do from here is make a Trident Killer right here, or a drop shoot to kill them, whatever you want to do. But if you want it to be fully AFK while still collecting the XP and the drops, follow the rest of this video. You're going to want to place 8 blocks over top of this 2x2 hole that we've made. Now I'm going to use glass for the rest of this because I think being able to see the guardians go up the chute is way cooler, but you can do any solid block or not solid block. You can do any block. It does not matter. Now that you've got this layer, you want to go 21 blocks into the air for a total of 22 blocks high. We now need to fill up this chamber with water source blocks. For me, the easiest way that I've found to do this is to literally take some water buckets and just place them 4 like this, go up, place 4, go up and place 4. But if you don't want to do that because you don't want to keep having to grab the water, there is a little bit of an easier way, but it's more complicated. Just let me explain. You want to place some dirt at the ground, come all the way up to the top, and place some water up here so the water flows all the way down, and then take some kelp, and on all 4 of these blocks you want to build it up all the way to the top and then build the kelp, or break the kelp, sorry, and that's going to make all of these water source blocks. You don't want to have it running, it needs to be sourced, so when we place soul sand at the bottom it pushes them all the way up to the top. As you can see, I've picked the kelp method, so I have kelp going all the way up to the top, and now all I have to do is come back down here and break the kelp, and now we have solid water sources throughout the entire thing. So now once you come back down here and you place your 4 pieces of soul sand, you're going to see bubbles going all the way up, and you're going to be shot way up just like this. This is perfect because once the guardians get pushed towards the middle, they're going to come up here so we can kill them with the Trident Killer while still collecting the XP and still having them spawn below. I just turned my game into hard mode to show you guys that they spawn and they just get launched up here. It's kind of fun to watch. I made a guardian fountain. Look at this. Anyways, we can get back to the tutorial. At the top of the chamber here, you want to place 4 temporary blocks there, and then you can go ahead and break them just to get rid of that top layer of water. You now want to break those 2 glass blocks in whichever direction you want. I just like to go towards the monument. And then go ahead and place down 6 slabs like this, any type of slab that you want, and then place 6 slabs there as well. You now want to take your block, whatever you're using. Again, I'm using glass, but you can use any block that you want. And you want to place walls on the edges of the slabs. Now coming to the 3rd block down from the top, we want to make a temporary platform here. It doesn't matter how big it is or what block it is. This is just to help us make the Trident Killer and also to run around on while we're doing these next couple parts. So I think that looks good. And I'm also going to temporarily break those 4 glass blocks. Now you want to place a piston right there. Turn and place a piston, turn and place a piston, turn and place a piston. Then take an observer and place it like that so the arrow is facing into the piston. And again, you want to do this for all 4 of the spots, just like that. I don't want this one here, sorry, just that one there. And now what you want to do is take a redstone torch and place it on the side of all of these pistons. And once you've done that, you should see that these pistons are being extended in a loop like this. And then take a lever, place it on one of the pistons, and this is how you turn the Trident Killer on and off. We can now replace those glass blocks that we've just broken. Now you want to place 2 blocks there, and then 2 slabs underneath of those blocks like that, so we can still collect the XP. Now for this next part, it might be helpful to make yourself an infinite water source because we are going to need 12 buckets of water. So I'm going to do that, place 2 buckets of water there, and now what you want to do is place 1 source of water inside of each one of these slabs. Editor Blazed here. One mistake that I made is you don't want to place water in these 4 blocks here. Only place the water in these 8 slabs. Now of course I can go ahead and break the infinite water source, and so if I look down here without forgetting to place any blocks, you can see that there's water flowing and the mobs are going to get pushed up to here. They're going to cram inside of here and then be pushed inside of this Trident Killer, which also reminds me you want to break these blocks here so that they can actually flow through. So now your area should be looking like this. Now I've gone ahead and removed all of the dirt blocks that we just placed, and I replaced these with these blocks just because I think it looks nicer, but it doesn't actually add any functionality. I just like when my farms look good. Now come underneath of this 2x2 square under the trident killer and build down 4 blocks and break the top 3, and then make yourself a decent sized platform at this level. Now directly underneath of our trident killer, we want to place 4 chests like that, with 4 hoppers on top of the chests, a rail on any of the hoppers with a hopper minecart, break the rail, and then push this hopper somewhere in the middle. If you can't push it, temporarily break one of the hoppers, push it into the middle, and then place the hopper back. So what will happen now is when the mobs die, you can still collect the XP, and the XP won't get stuck inside of the hoppers, but it'll still get collected through the ground into the hopper minecart and distributed between these 2 chests. You now want to make a staircase going up and down from this trident killer. Now the final step to this farm is taking a trident and throwing it onto one of those pistons, and the farm's complete. Now I recommend throwing a couple tridents inside of here because this farm will actually bottleneck up here. The guardians will come up here so fast that they can't be killed fast enough. So obviously the more tridents you have up here, the more efficient the farm is. But as you can see, I obviously don't have any coming up right now because I'm on peaceful. You want to go to easy, normal, or hard, it doesn't matter. And then you want to flick on this lever and your farm will be working. If no guardians are spawning, again, go down to the first link in the description to see what is different, because as you can see in my world, the guardians are starting to spawn. They get pushed up to here, and they're probably going to sit here for a little bit until more guardians come up and push them into this trident killer, where they're then killed. And if I go into survival mode, you can see I can stand here. I'm collecting all of the XP, and all of the drops from the guardians are going to go inside of the chest down below. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And one final time, you can download this world. It's the first link in the description. But with that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. BlazedMC out.